Good evening, mortals. Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Bitch.
Welcome to the stream where we stream shit. Hello, T and Blair and Lavana and Skull. Get out of the fucking chat. Get out here. Get out here. Aki, you get out here too.
No.
Get.
No.
I will take your blue booking away.
Don't you dare.
All right. I guess you don't need a mod then.
Oh yeah, that's a fair point. You got me there. Aki, I
Wait,
apologize
Aki has
for.
a gun?
What are you talking about? Huh?
Are we being held hostage? If so, where are my bondage?
No, I'm totally fine. I'm not under duress. I am not being threatened by Aki. Everything is totally fine. And you know, everything's great. What?
I've got a friend in chat.
I do you?
Yeah.
I've got a friend in
person.
chat. I think.
Is it me?
No, I said a friend, Aki.
Oh right, yeah.
And in chat, Aki.
Oh yeah.
You're
I mean, I've already
whatever
finished.
the fuck you are, and also in mod. Okay.
But no,
Well-
it's eyeball. Hello.
Well, guys, welcome to Exalted. My teasing of Aki aside, I'm feeling much better this week, so we're gonna play some Exalted. If you guys will recall from 2 weeks ago, I have forgotten something already. I'm amazing at streaming. I'm actually kind of the best at it. There we go. Hello, Eyeball. How's it going?
Yeah, it's the friend that I said that was in chat.
Yeah. You were telling me you're doing prey runs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Prey
And
runs.
he was very nice and tanked the whole thing.
Oh,
and so I
God.
bought him an apartment.
I love tanking prey runs because you just sprint and enemies chase you and melt, and I don't know what happens. Something happens with the DPS, I think. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Eyeball gets it. Yeah, we're playing Exalted. We're playing the modern Exalt game that I've created that is not so thinly veiled, not our real world anymore. It's kind of the cat's getting out of the bag. Oh yeah, welcome, Eyeball. Good to see you. At any rate, last session, two things had happened. One, Mercy and Darius had gone to Santa Monica and had been told by the ghost of the priest of a church that had burned down that the end of days had arrived.
Would you argue that since he died before we got there, and priests usually do the midnight mass on December 25th, that he was the ghost of Christmas past?
How long have you been workshopping that, Aki?
Like 10 seconds.
I'm... Okay.
Hey.
So, I see Lavana said something cursed. Yep, checks out. Okay, at the same time, Joaquin, Ben, and James had gone to a small town and found out about a dog that eats people so completely they disappear from everyone's memory. Yeah, how did that go, you guys? How'd that end? It was
mostly forgets, because apparently everyone still remembers the guy who, you know, we were sent to investigate in the first place.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder what caused that.
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
I'm sure it's
his
nothing.
wife specifically said that the dog never went to finish the job or something.
She did not say that.
Oh.
She did not say that in the slightest. She said
She
the
said
dog
it-
hadn't eaten the rest of her family.
Oh.
But
Okay.
but her husband is var dead.
Oh, yes, noted.
Anyway, Blair, leveling up is not something that really happens in Exalted. It's not that kind of game. Lavana, I will time you out, so help me God. And I don't mean that in a fun, joking sort of way. Anyway, Lavana is holding up Witch's torch a little too high. I don't know. Who has the least XP in the group?
That is a good question.
I
That's
think
why I'm asking.
James
James?
at 55 and 46.
I am at 51 and 46.
So, not James.
I'm at
I'm at-
40 and 39.
That
It's
sounds
Ben.
wrong, Ben. Like, that sounds like you've missed XP.
I might have.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
not the brightest.
Can we fix that?
I have a thing I can share with a screenshot I can share with you specifically, which that will tell you how much XP should be in each session.
Great.
Okay.
Include the times that
Well-
you got extra XP. Joe?
I do have those written down separately,
Okay.
so I'll like indicate how many of those were an extra +1.
All right. Well, we'll deal with that later. Let's bitch
Yeah, I can.
slap a dog first.
Okay. So you guys are ready to do this thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Embrace this chaos.
I've been ready for 2 weeks.
Oh, why 2 weeks?
Gee,
I don't
wonder
want to
why.
explain. I want to play this game, Jordan.
All right, sounds good. So, just so everyone knows in the group, you guys can all hear me, except now they can't hear me. I have a button
What?
that they can't hear me anymore, and I can talk to you, chat. So
Right.
pattern
He's
spiders.
doing that thing.
So I can be like, "Hello, you're cool and pretty, and I like you a lot." Anyway, I'm back. I did that thing, as my good friend Scald just pointed out. So we're gonna pick things up back in Santa Monica, I think. So the priest has just told you the end of days has come, and he disappeared to wherever spirits go.
We talked to the guy in the suit, and he was walking away. That was where our scene ended.
Right, and he left, and you guys let him go.
He was in the process of walking away, and then we cut to the other scene. I
Right.
have notes.
You have notes? Okay.
Mhm.
So we're going to pick right up there. What are you guys doing with that knowledge?
I'm gonna look at Mercy and say, I think it's time that we went and paid a visit to the social worker.
And I think that guy is letting on the Viking words in a correct order,
Oh.
I promise.
So they're
Uh,
interacting with demons right now.
And I think that man knows more than he's letting on. So
And one of them gives off an aura of always lying.
Do you want to continue asking questions?
I'd like to, if we can.
Let's follow him.
So he gets into a very expensive looking car. He gets in the back seat and it drives away. Are you going to try and chase him down?
Mercy's gonna note down the license plate.
Okay. I'm going to save you some time. The license plate is for a local company that does, like, you can hire a driver.
That's fine.
But, okay, great.
What was... Sorry, we got his name, didn't we?
Noah.
Noah, right.
Mm.
And
Pure
he was
World
the
of
son of
Darkness
another,
fans, that's Gaviel. Noah Wallace.
Church leader.
Another priest.
Another priest, that's what I was looking for. Thank you.
No problem. And there was the man in the suit that visited the priest just before the church burned down, and said that he was specifically a man in a suit, and said that he knew about the boy, and said that the boy called him.
I'm sorry, could we back up a sec? Did you just call it the Bald Church?
No, I
Aki,
actually did not.
Did you just call a church bald because you have been calling me bald so much that you're just using it to spice up language now?
No.
Becky,
I'm not.
you fuck.
I feel like you're just hearing bald.
I mean, it's I've got really good hearing, so I doubt that's the case. I don't have all that awful hair getting in the way
I wonder why.
because I'm bald.
The church before it burned down.
All right, I heard bald. The church before it balled down.
You should check for hair.
Okay, I've got some.
The reason I want to go speak to the social worker is because if the boy knew the man, she may know who he was as well.
True. You said that she left him here, right? Why?
Yes. According to the priest, the boy needed the priest.
True, but social workers don't usually, leave people. Well, good social workers don't just leave people places without
Boy,
cause.
did need an exorcism. That's correct.
It just seems highly unlikely that she would just straight up leave a child somewhere.
I agree.
But you're right. We should go see the social worker.
What time of day is it?
It's late now. You guys have been there for quite a while.
There's a lot of different variations of light, though. Like, is it like
Fair enough.
2 in the
It's
morning?
like it's like after midnight.
I'm gonna pull out my alternate cell phone, the one that dials up privately.
Not for me,
and I'm gonna
Dwyer.
call the number for the social worker.
Okay. You hear, or she picks up and says, "Yeah."
Good evening. Sorry for the late call. I'm calling about the disappearance of a boy at.
Are you
a burned-down
police?
church. No.
Okay. What do you want to know?
We were requested to come in and investigate this.
So
I'm a
you're
private
police.
investigator.
Oh, a PI. Okay. I live at 123 Fake Street, and I'm busy, and the line goes dead.
Okay.
Did she say 123 Fake Street, or does she
did.
give an address?
She specifically said 123 Fake Street.
I'm gonna look at Mercy and say she knows more than she's letting on as well.
Oh, good.
She definitely just blatantly. She insulted me with a lie.
Is it a lie if no one in the world would believe it?
I mean, I'm sure there's someone. You could probably find someone who's like English isn't their first language that would believe that.
Also, that moment when you just kind of like call somebody up and they're like, "Hey, we're not police. We don't have a warrant or a subpoena or anything, and we'd like to ask you a few questions." I mean, isn't no pretty much the answer most people would give?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, especially at 2 in the morning. Yeah.
No is that sort of response isn't, in my personal opinion.
Eyeball, that's
I could be
great.
wrong.
Could also be paranoid.
Actually, you have heightened perception, right, Darius?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the background, you could hear her. She's outside. She's not like at home. You could hear traffic passing past her, and I don't know. Something seemed off. She's a social worker that's out at like 2 a.m.
Do you tell this to Mercy?
Yeah, I'll blah that to you.
Now, I don't want to assume anything, but Pete.
Pete?
She did that because she's an alcoholic. She actually had a very good reason to
we
do that.
found him in the bathtub.
Yes.
if she's out at 2 in the morning and there's traffic nearby and something seems wrong,
Believe it
I'd
or
rather
not,
not
she's a
jump
good
to
guy.
conclusions, but if this is the case where we can intervene first, I'd like us to.
Is because we saw which way she left when she originally walked away from the church. Was there what is in that direction in the city?
It's not the nicest end of town.
Do you want to head in that direction, Mercy?
But nothing special.
Is there track her phone's location?
Make a hacker check.
Or at least where she called from, the nearest cell tower?
Is that something that
Welcome back,
my
Lovato.
Spy's resource would be able to do?
Potentially, yeah, but do you have any what skill is that? Is that lore?
Yes.
You decided it was lore.
Yeah, do you have any lore skill? Because you
I
could
have
probably do it
4 in
yourself.
lore.
Yeah, you could probably do it yourself, buddy.
Okay. What do you want me to roll?
Intelligence and lore.
It didn't allow me to add essence, and
Do you have dots in it, so you should be adding your you should be rolling the stat and then any motes you want to spend for excellency.
yeah,
You didn't get the chance to add motes though?
no, I didn't. I wanted to add 4. Can I just roll it to 40-10?
Yeah, you could just add 40-10, that's fine. Go ahead and roll it.
2 successes, I think. I just rolled.
Yeah, that is 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you do manage to track her phone down. She has an app that she downloaded, which has security that is literally a joke in the cybersecurity world. It's like one that jealous wives use to track their husbands or vice versa. But it's active on her phone. So someone is already tracking her phone, and now you are too.
Is she in a relationship when I pulled up her information?
Yeah, she's married. She has a husband.
Okay. I will give the location to Mercy and look at her and say, "Do you want us to go meet her?"
Let's go meet her.
Alrighty. I'm gonna leave this one in your hands because random guy walking up to her in the middle of the street. Yeah, not a good look.
That's fair.
Speaking of in your hands, cut back to the dog people. Hello, guys.
Yo.
So what are you
Woof.
working on at the moment? You were in the charnel house surrounded by corpses that weren't there a second ago.
Yeah, I think it was Ben and Joe were just outside. We had invited Adam to join us. And then James insisted on going in by himself.
Yeah.
And Adam said, "I'll be
I
right
remember.
there."
Yeah.
And we don't know what that means.
Oh, right. So after a moment, Adam gets out of a car door, then looks confused, turns back around and says, "What door did I just exit?"
That one?
He turns around and looks clearly at the car directly, and then turns back around and says, "That's strange. There's nothing here." He then waves his hands and says a few words in a deep tonal accent, and then says, "There's definitely nothing here."
This is the car that we used to get here.
No, he came out of a different car. He came out of one of the ones that were parked on on the driveway.
Oh, okay. Joe's going to bring him up to speed on what we've just realized, which is that this creature consumes the interaction of its victims and presumably their belongings with the rest of the world.
He
And
nods and says, "I think I've heard of this."
Oh.
those are cars, as far as I can see.
He turns around and says, "No, there's nothing there. There's not even the pattern of anything there. I promise you there's nothing there. And if you could see something, it means that I know less than I thought I did, which is wonderful and horrifying at the same time."
James is gonna pick up a rock and put it on top of one of the cars.
Okay, as soon as you do, he goes, "Huh, a rock that disappears." Or no, sorry, as soon as you put the rock on top of the car, he gets this, like, blank look on his face, and then he goes, "So, something, yeah, this thing reminds me of, Doctor Who. There was an episode about this."
You mean the silence?
He nods. Yeah, that.
I never finished watching far enough.
Oh,
only know what
just
the
just know
image
the name.
macros say.
What's a Doctor Who?
TV show.
It's a television series.
Oh.
So, you said this might be a curse.
Well, yes, but I'm not sure now. Because we've been standing in the middle of this driveway for quite some time, and usually that implies something bad. I think I need to see the cursed person. Because if I can figure out which spell is on her, at least which sphere, I should be able to narrow down who cursed her.
I should warn you, and
They are not
Joe's going to
eyeball.
kind of like basically repeat
Everyone's
the gist
wrong.
of the exchange, which was, well, now it's seen you, and you're marked for death.
He nods.
And
Oh, good. Has
And
it
he describes the
seen
dog.
me?
Not yet.
No.
Well, then if you don't mind, I would like to handle this investigation remotely.
Okay.
I should warn you that we wouldn't know if it had seen you, because we don't know where it is.
Good!
Yeah, it could literally be behind you right now. We wouldn't know.
I would. If there's a creature that's eating people, it's going to leave some trace or pattern behind, and I will be able to detect that.
Except.
But you didn't
can't-
even see the car.
Yeah.
See the what?
Exactly.
You
There's
didn't. You
there's a
didn't see the
car.
car door you just came out of.
Yeah, I did come out of a door, didn't I? Oh, no. Well, I have to go.
No.
Here,
You-
I'm going to give you something that should help you detect which curse, or at least which flavor of curse, is on this woman. If you'll just wait right here, and he walks over to your car door, opens
Yep.
it, on the other side of it you could see his library. He steps through it, fiddles around in his library for a bit, and comes back through, closes the car door, through the window of which you can see the inside of the car, which you could see before too. But now
The window
it's-
showed when it was open, it was the library, and through the window you can still
see the inside of the car. Yeah. He comes back through and he hands you a talisman, like a coin on a red piece of ribbon, and he says, "Take this, have her wear it for an hour. It will change color and it might burn her. Maybe tell her the first part, but not the second. I don't know. I'm not sure how you handle your business, but the color it turns will tell me what kind of curse it is. This
Can
thing.
you tell me? Can you tell me briefly, or should I just call you when I find out the color?
Yeah, just call me. I have a phone. Now, here's the thing. This necklace will take on some of the curse in order to detect it, so you'll want to dispose of it violently if you can.
I'll have some kind of means of incineration, I suppose.
That would be good.
easier said than done.
If not,
But,
treat it like radioactive waste and bury it deep, deep, deep underground hopefully for mankind never to find again.
Would chucking it in the ocean work?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
The ocean has guiding principles that surround it, and one of those principles is motion. A cursed item can use that principle to return to the hands of someone it wants to curse, not the ocean.
I suppose Ben could just punch it into dust.
Could he?
Don't think I want to punch it, but if I had a sledgehammer.
Okay.
If you have the kind of power that can break a cursed talisman like that, then please let me know.
I don't know if I could, but I did break those handcuffs.
We will pick up a sledgehammer on the way and keep it in the car. I think we should hurry, and you should be out of here if you don't wish to be in any further danger.
Yes, on that note, he opens your car door again, which leads to his library, and he says, "Let me know if I can help in any other way that doesn't involve me risking my life. Thank you, goodbye," and he closes the door behind him.
Howard.
I feel kind of bad about that one. I didn't realize
That's correct, Lavana,
how
but it's
dangerous
actually
it would be
very-
just to be
more
in our
effective
company
than
at
you'd
this
think.
moment. I should have, but
I have one last
Not stupid.
piece of business in the house, and then I think we can get going.
all right. How long do we give you to not
Just-
come back before we come looking for you?
Well, I mean, if it eats me, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Ah, okay. So if we don't remember you, we'll leave, and if we do remember you, we'll leave.
I'll only be a minute.
Okay. Be swift
Okay.
Okay, what are you doing?
and be safe.
I'd like to figure out approximately where our the fellow's body was.
Which fellow?
The first one who died, the one who
The husband?
was- Yes,
You did not find his body in that room.
I know.
Okay.
But I need to find approximately where it was. In the
Now it should have been in that room, shouldn't it? Because apparently, from our witness account, it was in that room that that his death took place.
Yes, but the body. Everyone
actually because
still
water is a
seems
great
to be
insulator
able
for
to remember
radiation.
him, because there was the whole investigation and all this. However,
Joe's
wait.
gonna quickly look up whether there was a funeral in his phone while
There
while
was.
this conversation is going on. Pardon?
There absolutely was, yeah.
And the body was buried.
No, the body was not found.
The body was never found.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
One of the many
might be in there.
reasons foul play was suspected.
Okay. So I'd like to use evidence restoring prana to,
Okay. You're so keenly aware of the connections, fixating on the distortion of flow of essence. You can. Oh, you can glimpse evidence. Okay, cool.
so I'm
No,
looking
sorry.
for a void where
Sorry,
that
eyeball.
body should be.
Okay, so you activate evidence restoring prana and look around, and there's nothing out of place. The body's not here, but it's not been moved or removed. It's just not here. Everything else is exactly where it should be. The fun part about this,
Okay.
pattern spiders, is there never was a body because this man never existed.
Huh.
He's far more interesting
Okay,
than the dog
Never
is.
mind. I'll walk back out.
Okay.
Okay, folks, off we go.
Joe's gonna try and
Yeah, he
drive
never
us to
existed in the
a
first place.
oh fuck, what time is it?
It's getting quite late.
He's gonna ask ask somebody to look up whether there's a hardware store that's open this late.
There absolutely is not.
Okay, shoot.
Hell to the
legit.
fuck no. You're in a small town. It closed its
It's a small
doors
town, right.
at 5 o'clock at the latest.
Never mind then. Joe will just drive us directly back to. It's getting late in the evening, huh? Well,
On your
if
way, you
visiting hours
pass a
are over.
construction site.
Pardon?
On your way, you pass a construction site.
Yeah, at a glance, do I see tools left out?
Yeah, totally.
Roll lore to introduce a fact? No, I don't think. No, that's specifically for scholarly endeavors, so it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Um,
Roll lore to introduce. It's okay for me to steal as long as I really need something.
There's a local or I could do that and be a dick and be like, there's a local ordinance that if something is replaced where it was, then the crime never took place. But like that's unnecessary. at this
Sure,
point.
but you would still be breaking and entering to do it.
Yeah, it's true.
Gosh, if only you had somebody who was slightly morally ambiguous to, hey, Joe, look over there, and I hop the fence.
Out of the moving car.
Yeah, clearly.
You're the driver too. That's intense.
Oh, I thought Joe was the driver. Oh right, no, you were driving, weren't you?
Yeah, he was.
Are you just looking for a hammer? Like,
Yeah, he's looking for a sledgehammer.
I've got one in my gear. Don't worry about it.
Yay!
Not a sledge, but it's a big ass hammer.
Well, that's convenient.
Anyway,
If visiting hours are over by the time we arrive back at the at this place, which he looks at the sky, is very possible, we may need to sneak in, or one of us may.
I'm sorry.
that
Are you
illegal?
saying that you're going to you're gonna sneak into where?
The place where because it's his wife who's cursed.
as far as we know.
So
As
you're
far as I
gonna
know.
break into a care home and harass a cursed woman.
Apparently, yes, because we were told this is how to find out what the curse is, and Joe is more interested in saving all of our skins and breaking this curse than he is in specifically like. it's an interesting thought. Like what? But yeah.
Do you want me to just disguise myself as, like, one of the nurses we saw earlier or something, Joe? Like...
Joe blinks a couple times. That's a fantastic idea. As
Yeah.
presumably she won't even need to be awake for this curse detection tool to work. So if you put it around her neck for an hour while she sleeps, hopefully
Yeah,
we
it's
need not
psychiatric
even disturb her.
facility.
Except that
Can
it
we not
might
just
up-
wait till morning?
I don't know about waiting. After all, she said we had maybe 8 hours, and that was her attempting optimism.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
god. This is
Hurry.
funny.
Joe pulls up in front of the care home, or across the street from the care home, and immediately turns the car's lights off.
Okay.
Oh, right. Sorry, never mind. Joe's not driving.
All right.
Blah
I'm-
James. Anyways.
How Baba?
Or I could just, go talk my way in.
The middle of the night? I
Not a
highly
problem.
doubt that.
It's
was 8
honestly
Lavana.
not going to be a problem, Ben. Trust me.
Alright.
We are
Don't
very
get yourself
persuasive now.
arrested.
Okay. Well,
I mean, Joe kind of leans over to Ben and says, "Keep in mind, Ben, that I was somehow able to get a surgeon to break all of the rules of the hospital and allow me to do an untested procedure on a critically ill child. That was completely unheard of."
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's all over the internet already. And he kind of like indicates there's probably even a hashtag for it.
For which exactly?
The miraculous. People are calling it a cure because, of course, people do. But like cancer cure.
Right. Because you helped a kid with or You're on the way to curing a kid's bone cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's all over the internet. You're not wrong.
Joe just kind of holds it up, shakes his head. If James's powers of persuasion are anything, are even similarly affected, and I suspect they will be more than that. Well, he will be in there.
Okay.
Now hurry. I don't know how much time we have.
Cool.
Yes, you did, Blair. Yeah,
James will
yeah, you
take
did.
the
Successfully,
necklace
no less.
and go into the building.
Okay, we're gonna cut back to Santa Monica. So you two track down this social worker, who I'll remind you is a small Indian woman, and she is walking through kind of not a nice area of town at 2 a.m. Well, 3 now. But she's going to like one of the very few nicer looking houses on the block. She's walking with a very like straight and focused look about her. She's clearly going somewhere she knows where to go, and she's going there for a reason. Before you can catch up to her, she turns a corner and goes into one of the nicest houses in this area. Yeah, you see her knock on the door. Someone opens the door and invites her in, and then they close the door behind her. Yes,
Well,
so
I have
Eyeball,
one way of getting in there, but
this is Exalted, where that sort of thing is very possible.
thoughts, Darius?
I'd prefer to avoid breaking into houses.
Didn't say anything about breaking in.
True.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it sometime. It's very
don't-
cool. I recommend looking into it.
I don't have a fix for her just not being available.
Especially going to a very nice house at 2 a.m. Either she's, well, got a sugar daddy, or
James
There's other
just said in the
reasons.
chat, they bangin'.
What?
Yeah, it's very cool.
Do you want to wait and see if she comes out?
no, because the last time we waited for somebody to leave their apartment, they ended up in a bathtub.
True.
So perhaps it might be best if I just go and knock on the door, and maybe you can see if there's, or at least a window, something that you can take a look in.
Yeah.
That way, at the
Darius
very
will...
least, then they only know about the one of us.
Okay, so who's doing what first?
Mercy's gonna wait for Darius to kind of head off and give him a minute or two.
Okay, so Darius, you're sneaking in a mortal neighborhood, and you're the night cast, or the oh no, you're Eclipse, aren't you?
I'm Clips.
Make a stealth check, you fucker. Dex and stealth, please.
Dor would be like, your pool probably isn't 5 dex, 5 stealth? Okay, you have to roll.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, so yeah, you sneak up to a window and you manage to see something you probably weren't supposed to. There is a man, the one who answered the door, kneeling in front of what can only be described as an angel if they were made up of a goth's wet dream. It's a creature with long flowing black robes, raven wings, and fog leaking from under their robe and out of their hood. The fog is wrapping around the man, and he is very clearly desiccating in front of you, aging into nothingness and dust on the ground, writhing in agony as he dies.
That escalated very quickly.
After a few moments of this, the man, now a decayed and shriveled husk of his former self, the angel collapses in on itself and becomes the social worker, who looks disgusted. And then Aki knocks on the front door, or Mercy does, rather. And she turns, and as she turns, she spots you. And you see her clearly curse, and then run towards the back.
I'm gonna head for the back.
All right. Mercy, you did hear a fuck from inside, and then the sounds of footsteps retreating away from the door.
Okay, I'm gonna go around the other side.
Okay. Correct, Lavani, yes. So you guys get there just as she opens the front door, or throws open the front door and charges out. She doesn't even slow. Back door. She doesn't even slow when she spots you chasing her. She just keeps running. Almost like this is not the first time she's had to run away from somewhere very suddenly. Unfortunately, she isn't very fast. She's kind of pathetically mortal in her speed, and you guys catch her fairly quickly. She stops, turns, and says, "So you're hunters then?"
We're not... What the fuck is going on?
You...
Don't know. We're not hunters.
She doesn't let her guard down. You see her reach into her coat.
Mercy uses emote and turns on her cast mark.
Okay. She swears and pulls a pistol from her jacket.
Fuck's sakes.
She points it in your direction and says, "Please step back. I don't want to do this, but I will if I have to."
What realm are you from?
Sorry, could you repeat that question? I don't know if I heard it.
What realm are you from?
Okay, she looks at you strangely and then points the gun at you and then points the gun back at Mercy, but keeps it on Mercy.
I'm gonna look at her and say, "We come with no harm intended, and we just want to talk." And I'm gonna try to invoke the right of diplomatic immunity, and see if that works.
The right of diplomatic immunity in Exalted relies on the fact that there are written agreements with Hell and the Underworld that prevent anyone from molesting an Exalt on very serious diplomatic duty. However, those same agreements may not be in place on Earth, and you are about to test whether they are.
Yep.
I did not mean to put that in chat yet.
And she looks at you strangely and says, "I will talk, but I'm keeping my weapon."
I agree. I nod my head yes, as if that's acceptable.
She says, "Fine."
Could we talk in the house? Not. She gestures to
She
the
looks
rich neighborhood.
guilty for a moment, and then says, "Fine." And she walks. She gestures for you guys to walk ahead of her. Gestures with a gun, no less.
Mercy's gonna walk backwards.
Okay. Eventually, through some artful dodging of fences and, in one memorable case, a small pile of refuse, you get inside the house. Moonwalking with Saltine. After some time, she looks at you and says, after you step over the corpse, which she looks at with obvious disgust on her face, she says, "So ask, what is this? Who are you?"
I'm the Zenith.
Wait, from TV? You're a real creature.
From porn.
She looks at you with the look of like kind of a disappointed mother. And then she says, "Why are you here? What do you have to do with any of this?"
We were asked to do an investigation.
By who?
That's 2 questions. I got a question now.
Fine.
You want to be pedantic? Let's go.
She says, I think I'm sorry. Do you swear on whatever it is that you serve, this son of yours, that you won't harm me or those I love?
Dar.
Merce at Dar? What the fuck
You
was
cut
that?
out real bad there when I got the gist
no.
of it.
Merce at Dar.
Seven is still in front of a live studio audience. I just read that.
Shocker
yeah.
when the walls fell.
Merce at Dar.
Mercy looks
When
at
Dar
Darius.
Okay.
I'm going to respond to that and say, can you guarantee that you aren't just harming people for the sake of murder?
She looks at you directly in the eyes and says, "I promise."
Then yes, we can.
She says, "Good." And immediately the contract goes into place. She looks around and says, "What did you do?"
I didn't forge that into a contract.
You didn't? Okay, then never
No,
mind. It
I
doesn't happen.
didn't.
Okay.
Now, because I'm
Doesn't
very
happen.
aware that they can tell, and I don't want to piss her off currently.
All right, fair enough. So she says,
This is my lawyer.
she looks and goes, "Oh, excellent. A lawyer."
Well, you've seen me on TV. After my last altercation, it was suggested that I hire one full time. So,
Right. What kind of a lawyer are you? And she looks over to you, Darius.
I cover general media and assault as well.
So you're a criminal and media lawyer? That's an unusual combination.
I had to adapt when I got the job.
Hmm.
I started as media.
I'm gonna need you to roll a falsehood there, Darius. And mercy,
What's
now
your
that I think
guile
about it.
for this instant?
Yeah, what's your guile?
8.
And do you want to boost it
I can boost
Before-
my guile.
before something gets rolled against your guile?
Too late, I already rolled. Mercy, what is your guile?
3.
Okay, so she narrows her eyes a little when you tell your obvious lie, and then she goes,
Darius is my lawyer. That is true.
"That is true. However, in this
It's not all
context, it's not the most important
Much
thing."
more than just your lawyer.
Yeah, it's still a falsehood, even if you're telling a falsehood with the truth. Anyway, she says, "Well, am I in legal trouble for this then?"
I don't represent the country.
She nods. In that case, this man, she points down to the corpse, asked me to do this. He didn't know what he was asking for, but this is the best outcome. And she gets this kind of distant look on her face, like she's reliving something.
We're not here for this. To be completely honest with you.
She looks at you and says, No, you're here about the church, aren't you?"
Yes.
"Well, as far as I could tell, it was one of us, but I don't know anything beyond that."
What us?
She looks at you for a moment, like in disbelief, and says, you honestly don't know. You just stumbled into this world."
Oh, wait. Sorry, just going back to what I saw, she drained the man like a vampire would, right?
She didn't bite him.
Okay.
Fog apparently took his fucking age and
Okay.
youth.
Okay, never mind. Continue.
No, you didn't see a vampire. Sorry, bud. She says, well, I don't know where to start. She sits down in a chair and like lowers her gun, and she says, I haven't told anyone about any of this until him. And she like gestures to the shriveled corpse on the ground.
Can you
Okay.
explain it to us?
She has this like really distant look still, and then she looks up and says, well, how far back do you want me to go?
How old are you? Just to confirm.
I'm 34.
Okay. We've met some people with varying ages that don't match their appearances, so I'm making sure that we're not setting in for like a long story. When did this start?
It started before time existed. Once we were angels. And we're gonna cut over to the dog folks.
God damn you. You-
Love you guys. So, dog folks, what are you up to?
I believe we're
B&E?
waiting for James to go and put a medallion around an amulet, around the neck of a cursed woman.
Right.
Okay.
So you walk up and the front doors are locked, but there is a buzzer on the front that says, for emergencies, press buzzer.
I'll press the buzzer.
Okay, after a minute, you hear, hello?
Hi there. This is. Sorry, I don't have my notes. This is Mr. Cromwell. I'm here as a legal representative for Blah Lady with the Curse. I need to speak to my client desperately.
Her name is Alice Baker, which you should
Thank
really
you.
know.
Thank
And he says, you're a lawyer?
That's correct.
Ah, fuck. Okay, yeah, come on in. You hear a click as the door unlocks.
Okay. In I go.
Okay. He says, you're lucky she's up late again tonight.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you letting me in.
Yeah, well, just don't tell my manager.
You got it.
And he takes you to her room. She turns and looks at you and says, oh, that's weird. I thought you'd be dead by now.
Yeah, me too.
The nurse that would unlock the front door for you looks at you and goes, good luck, and walks away.
Okay. I will explain most of the amulet to her. You know,
Do you
we have...
mention the part where it's going to burn her?
I mentioned that there may be some strange side effects, and if it becomes
She says, she goes, so we're doing magic now?
I'm as surprised as you are, but yes.
Sure, why not? Give me your necklace, bud.
Okay, hand it over.
She puts it on. You know, I don't think magic's real. I think you guys just don't know what the hell's going on. I think this thing, and she points across the room, I think pretty sure that it just is, you know? It isn't like magic. It's not like some demon or something. It's just a thing. It's whatever that is.
Yep, and this is my best lead on figuring out what the hell it is and getting rid of it.
I think it's a dog. Not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's a dog.
So,
You would think
everyone
Blair,
else
necessarily.
who's been killed in your house, by the way, we we were able to figure out a little bit more about that, everyone else seems to disappear from existence.
She nods. Yep, dog gets him.
Except for your husband.
She looks pained for a moment, and then she says, yes, that's right.
And you're telling me that the dog killed your husband?
Yeah, pretty sure.
I'd like to see if she's lying to me.
Oh, woof. Alright, go ahead and roll your check, you fucker. Pretty much,
I'm
Lavana.
just gonna
She's right,
use,
incidentally. This is basically just an animal.
Pardon me. Judge's ear technique.
Cool. You just pass. She's not lying.
Okay.
She said that with the conviction of someone who witnessed a murder.
Also, kudos for responding to that with woof.
Funny joke.
Haha, funny, because it's kind of a dog, sort of.
The Sam who's with me pointed that out, and I was like, how did I miss that?
Oh yeah, we've got... Do we have double or triple Sam score at the moment?
I believe we just have double Sam. I don't know of the third Sam who would be here.
Okay. Bark, Bork, Heck, York.
I may be focusing on a small detail here, but if he killed, or the dog killed your husband, shouldn't he be gone, disappeared from existence like the rest of us? Or,
She
rest
she
of
nods and says, "Yep, I think so. I don't know why it's different. Maybe it's because I saw it happen, or maybe it's, I don't know. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know.
I know.
But hey, it's still here, so it hasn't killed you yet, and you're still here, so you haven't been killed yet. Hey, is this supposed to be doing something? And she holds the necklace up.
It should change color.
She looks at it. Oh.
After about an hour was what we were told.
After an hour, yeah.
Oh. Okay. All right, so are you just gonna stay here for an hour, or?
I'm gonna text Ben and Sam and be like, so are we just gonna wait for an hour?
I love that the circle is Mercy, Ben, James, Darius, and Sam.
Sorry, Sam.
It's great. No, it's fun. It's funny.
Joaquin. His name is
Joaquin.
Joaquin. Or Joe.
Joaquin texts you around that time, asking permission to turn on your like body cam, like shoulder cam.
Yeah, I'll turn it on.
Okay, she goes, "Are you recording me?"
Two of my associates are watching in to make sure that I don't get eaten by a dog.
How are they gonna stop it? Dog will just eat you. You'll be dead, and then what? Your friends will stop paying attention, or they won't notice, or they won't have been here this whole time.
At least one of them has also been able to discern the existence of the missing people, so
They
Joe
haven't, Blair,
specifically remembers Samuel.
but it won't work.
But for now, chess?
She goes, "How about checkers?
Checkers it is.
And if we're gonna play something fun, how about crib?"
I am absolutely down for crib.
She goes, "Great!" And she pulls out a well-worn pack of cards. You guys play crib for an hour, at the end of which the necklace has done sweet fuck all. No,
Joe,
Ben can't just super punch it.
Great.
This is good. Joe's gonna kind of like he's a timer goes off on Joe's phone, and he kind of like texts he texts James, Do you mind if I give Adam a call?
Not at all.
Joe will call Adam.
Okay, he says, "What color?" As soon as
None
you
at all.
as soon as
It
you pick up the
hasn't
phone.
It hasn't changed at all, and in fact,
Oh, it's not a curse. Well, fuck.
seemingly not. Whatever. Perhaps for the same reasons that your magics didn't detect the cars, it's something that doesn't interact with your, I don't know, your paradigm for things?
It's an OCP,
Oh, what?
an outside context problem. Which
What does
means
that mean?
we have to make new spells to make it an inside context problem. And unfortunately, we have to know what we're looking at in order to do that. So,
Can I send you a recording of a stream that was taken over the past? Have you Hey James, have you turned this to look at this camera to look at the corner yet?
I will turn and look at the corner if I haven't already.
cool. There's nothing there.
I will send the clip of the last little bit, like the last minute of cribbage play,
Okay.
with her in the frame, plus the corner, and I will send that to him as a video via text.
When she sees you look at the corner, she goes, "Oh, it left a while ago."
That would
Right around the time I started kicking your ass.
That would have been nice to know.
Oh, sorry. I not used to talking to people, really.
Joe kind of stiffens and then into the phone says, "Apparently it left. He was following the game. So how many minutes ago was that?"
Approximately.
So
when she started kicking my ass.
So about
when
20
did she
minutes
start
ago.
kicking his ass? Pardon?
About 20 minutes ago.
Okay, blah. He's gonna say about 20 minutes ago it apparently left.
He goes, "Okay, I have to check some things. Goodbye." Click.
Ay, mierda. I certainly hope our one connection with these mages doesn't end up dead because we...
Shit. Well, this has been inconclusive.
Joaquin,
Yes.
the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
Joaquin's going to, Joaquin's sitting in the passenger seat right now? No, probably in the back with Ben, because, just not leaving Ben to sit alone in the backseat of a car. He's gonna, duck and, open the door and roll out.
What's going on?
I felt
Okay.
something.
So you instinctively got out of the car.
It was on... It felt like it was behind me. He's looking up and down the dark street.
Oh, it hasn't stopped feeling like the hairs on the back of your neck have stood up. But it does fade after a few minutes.
Okay, Joe is gonna have to have gotten back in the car when it doesn't go away when he gets out of the car.
Okay.
I don't know if this thing is tangible. I don't know if it can pass through the vehicle. I suppose I should. And he actually he takes out a piece of paper, and a bit of tape, from his bag of books, technology, and what have you, and stationery, and tapes the thing to himself with a note. The car is undamaged as of the current time.
Okay, sorry, you tape a note that says the car is undamaged?
Yes, to his own arm.
Oh, okay.
And he says, "Yeah. Is the car undamaged?"
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Well, if this changes, he kind of looks down at the note. If this note becomes a lie, let's be very concerned. After all, this creature is out there now. Out here, maybe.
All right. Well,
So back to the cribbage scene. She says, "So, what's your plan exactly? How are you gonna fix my dog problem?"
You're making the assumption that I have a plan here.
Everyone has a plan. They all want my son's money, you see. So everyone has a plan.
To be honest, I don't. I'm... One of my very close friends and employees was killed by the Beast.
Oh, the reporter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was nice,
yeah, he was.
I think. It's hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure he was nice. No, he was sarcastic. It was better.
To be honest, I'm just trying to get as much information as I can about this so we can try and form a better plan, but I must be missing something.
Okay, well, tell you what. I'll tell my son that you helped me. If you could do me one favor.
What's that?
My husband's supposed to be buried in the cemetery by the church, but there's nothing in his coffin. If you could take the body from the house and put it in the coffin, I'd appreciate it.
The body that I couldn't find?
You did not tell her that. Are you now telling her? She says, but that doesn't make any sense.
Agreed. I had assumed that the coroner's office had taken it.
No, the reason why I got tried for murder or investigated or whatever it was is because they couldn't find him. But I just thought it was because the dog ate him and no one could find him.
And you said
She's not
that
lying, guys.
he was murdered by the dog.
She nods.
You saw it.
She nods.
Where exactly?
He was in the living room. I was sleeping on the couch, and when I woke up to it. Remember, guys.
Joe's voice trembles a little bit as actually. Oh, can he speak through the earpiece without being on a call with you? Probably not.
I
Probably
would
not.
assume.
Okay.
I would assume I've got you on my on call.
Oh, okay.
There's
now
no
that
body
I've
because
hung up with
this
with
man
Adam.
never existed.
Okay, Joe's voice trembles a little bit as he kind of like says into James's ear, wait, shoot, there was something, OOC, I've lost it for a second, but it was, what was the last thing that was said? That, he was in the living room. Joe's voice trembles and then steadies as he kind of goes from being frightened to practical. Did we ask why she was on the couch? It seems a strange situation. After all, it's not a small house. It's not a small house, and multiple bedrooms.
I'll ask, why were you sleeping on the couch?
Oh, like, were we fighting kind of thing? No. He worked late a lot, and I'd usually be asleep by the time he came in, so I kind of had the habit of, I'd lay on the couch and I'd watch TV until I fall asleep, and then he'd come in and he'd kiss my head, and, and then we'd go to bed.
Where
I
did
just
he
didn't
work?
want to leave anything.
Oh, he worked for, hang on a second. He worked for 9 Iron Insurance. I mean, they were great. They made sure the family was taken care of, which is nice. But they didn't want to cover my lawyer's fees, of course.
Of course.
What? No. He isn't made up.
Joe, can you think of anything I'm missing here?
Not really. Kind of?
OC, no. Is there anything Sam's missing
no,
that
the
Joe
dog
would know
hates her.
with a decent investigation or lore score or even a cult?
I mean, not really.
Wasn't there a daughter that was there?
There.
Where-
It doesn't seem like she's connected to this, but we still are trying to figure out why this thing should be spending so much time in your room, why you remember it, why you remember anyone.
She nods. I think it was because of my husband somehow. I don't know how, but
Okay.
I don't know. It feels scared. She points across the room. I'm pretty sure it's scared.
It's back now?
Oh yeah. It just kind of comes and goes.
As James turns to kind of like look at the corner, Joe is gonna like take the little bit of video from there, and he's gonna text it to Adam.
Okay. Your
It's an
text comes
empty
up as
corner.
undeliverable.
Oh.
There's nothing in the footage as far as you can tell with any of your senses.
Okay. Including the
Nope.
yeah. Ay. Just that's just a quick aside. Please continue.
I'm gonna try to talk to it.
Okay.
Just gonna look over at the corner and damn it, Aki.
Suffer.
Aki just posted in the Roll20 chat, bad dog, no murder.
Is it murder if it's not with intent?
Murder does imply intent. Yeah, it's manslaughter if there's no intent.
I'm gonna look over in the corner and quite simply say, "Can you understand me?" And then look at her.
Okay, she says, I don't think it cares about you. Not really.
Okay.
I think it knows if people can see it, because it sure likes me, but it's never heard a nurse. And some of them have talked to my delusion quite a few times.
Fair enough. Well, I guess we gotta go find. I'll go try and find.
You see,
where
her husband was
husband's
only
body-
existed
I have
insofar as
one
everyone knew
idea,
he existed,
Joe's
which
gonna
is
say
why
in James's ear.
Yep.
the dog can be spotted by anyone.
What if we ask Mrs. Baker to ask it some questions? See if we can glean anything.
Does it talk to you ever, Miss Baker?
Does it
She shakes
nod?
her head. No, it's like a dog. It's like it doesn't talk or like, I don't even think it's evil really. It just like eats people.
Okay, well, off to go find your husband's corpse then.
She says, she flinches and kind of looks away.
Oh, apologies, that was...
She waves her hand. No, all's fair. I've been joking about you dying. It's only fair. It's only fair. Sorry.
It's okay. Alright. I'll let you know if I find anything.
Good. Can I take this off now? And she points to the still very non-colored necklace.
Yep, and out of curiosity, I'm just gonna wave it through the area where I think the dog is.
Okay. She says, it doesn't seem to care.
Okay, good to know.
Aki, heal, roll over, find Richard's body.
Okay, well, off I go.
All right.
Where would we find a corpse that is unfindable?
I mean, it's not... It shouldn't be.
Does it want to scoop?
Yes, after all, others can remember him. Let's before you leave. Oh wait, no, actually, she already walked us through the events of that day, and
Yep.
it hasn't been as long for Joe and James and Ben as it has been for us OOC.
No.
Do we remember like the events, and can we retrace like when she lost sight of him, and it wasn't chasing her at that point?
Oh no, it chased her down the road and for quite a while after that. She actually described it popping up occasionally after the event, and the more she talked about it with others, the more it hung out to the point where it doesn't leave her side most of the time now.
The more she talked about it, the more it stayed close.
Yeah, but everyone wrote her off as crazy and possibly a husband murderer. So.
So she lost sight of his body in the living room.
She specifically said there was so much blood I couldn't see him. But she very clearly has some trauma around that whole period.
Yeah. So figuring out what happened in the time after it stopped chasing her, or maybe even while it was chasing her, if it can be in more than one place. It can't be in more than one place, otherwise it wouldn't be leaving and coming back. I don't know.
I mean, I also have the theory that he somehow transformed into the dog, but that's really fucking shaky.
I suppose if she was traumatized
I mean, that's
enough,
actually pretty close.
Yeah.
if it's afraid and
That's not a bad
staying
guess.
near her,
I don't.
some kind of a spiritual. You know, I wish the others were here, particularly Mercy. She
On that
has
note, so the social worker says, we were created in our houses, the first among us delivering the plan, and down the line until the very end, those who would clean up the trash, so to speak. And for a while, everything was fine. We did our jobs and we rejoiced. It was beautiful and perfect, so much more than you know. But like everything, it had to come to an end. And it did. We rebelled for perfect and beautiful reasons beyond comprehension, and we lost the war. We were imprisoned, and recently, some of us have escaped. I was one of them. And at first, all I wanted to do was kill everyone for ever making me suffer like this. But I came into this body, this woman who had been beaten down by having to interact with the system for so long and watch kids just get put back into homes where they were treated with the worst disrespects over and over and over until I could get in, and I did. And now parts of her are still here, like the last owner didn't move out quite well enough. And some of her ideals reminded me of mine. But not all of us are like me. And she kind of slouches in her chair a little bit. And what's worse, those that we rebelled for and fought for turned into this, and she gestures at the corpse on the ground. He begged me to serve me. He thought I would enjoy the kids and men that he had killed, and that he was being rewarded for his behavior.
Wait, sorry, so this man killed children?
She nods. Among others, he thought he was cleansing the neighborhood for our arrival. Well, for our commander's arrival, anyway.
Well, fuck him then.
She kind of half smiles and says, he didn't know any better. He thought this is what we wanted.
So...
And for a day, I did reward him. I told him not to kill any more unless I asked, and left him alive. But I couldn't leave it. She wouldn't have left it, so I didn't.
So was he human?
She nods. Of course.
And you're... sort of?
I'm a halaku.
Bless you.
She doesn't smile.
Sorry, bad joke.
You'd call me a demon.
just gonna mute myself so I can fucking celebrate outside
Yeah, you earned
character
it, Aki. Go ahead.
because someone pick up the phone because I fucking called it. So your commander then, if I'm led to believe, is Lucifer?
She nods. That's why the church is so important.
But it burned down.
He probably did that. He always did have good command over fire.
The child?
It was one of us. A powerful one, too. I was hoping that the priest could exorcise him. But when I told the priest what he needed to do, he insulted me, said that my superstition was unbecoming of someone in my station, and told me that he would be calling the ministry and kept the child. And then he died. So I suppose I get to keep my job.
Suit outside?
You cut out there, Aki. All I heard was suit outside. But I thought it
mama.
was soup outside, and I got briefly excited.
It's soup.
Bald.
Bald soup.
Did that come through?
Yes, bald came through.
Okay, I just wanted to make
Bald
sure.
always comes through, baby.
No, it don't. Anyways.
Yes, Livon, that's correct.
As the kids would say.
As the kids would say these days, haha, go team.
So
Gotham? Soup.
was there a man in a suit outside?
She says, several. I'm pretty sure most of them were devils, but you never can tell these days. Sorry, they don't like it when you call them that. It's house politics are difficult to parse these days. From what I've gathered, he may have been at the church just before it burned, and if he was, that would explain why we all felt his call.
So are you part of the I guess
Sally's
we-
boat friends.
That's what I've been trying to think of, is how to slide that in there.
I'm guessing we met another group of, if I may call you, demons, if that is okay.
She winces and nods.
Is there another form of word you would like me to use?
She says, no, it's fine.
All right. Another group of you that we might have met that was specifically looking for their commander.
Did they
Are
say
you-
commander?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, I know who you met.
And that there was a war going on.
There's no war. She looks she looks at you directly in the eyes and says, there was a war. We lost. It's over. Some of us can't believe that.
Is your group of people particularly militarized?
We were an army for time beyond reckoning. Yes, we are militarized.
Okay.
But most of us have hung up our weapons. I mean, look around. What's there left to fight for? A world that treats children like a resource, or where a woman's husband is happier with a demon than he ever was with her, or a system where I go and ask a man of faith, can you help me expunge actual evil from the world, and he laughs at me. There's nothing left here. We just have to carve out a little bit of happiness where we can find it.
I think your goals may align with ours somewhat in wanting to better the world.
I don't think so.
I'm already working on the foster system.
That won't fix it. The world is broken. It's not fixable. You can't just change a few symptoms and have it be better. It doesn't matter if you fix the foster system. Something else will take its place.
With all due respect, that's nice, but that's what I was brought here to do.
She shakes her head and says, I'm sorry. Killing him, and she points to the corpse, it reminded me of who I was near the end of the war, and it's made me cynical. Can we have this conversation at another time?
Can you confirm that we'll be able to contact you?
She says, my name is Madisel. Say that name.
Madisel.
You hear it in your head, yes, I can confirm you can contact me at any time. Blair, the metademon.
The temptation to forge that into a deal is pretty major, but I'm not going to.
I mean, you didn't hear that.
Oh, she didn't say that out loud?
She just looked at you guys.
Okay.
And Mercy went, eyes widened a bit. That's about it. Off topic, you wouldn't happen to know anything about an invisible shape-shifting dog that erases people?
Well. We have unfortunately similar names. It's very odd.
What? Why? What is your name?
Mercial.
You're not one of us, though. But
No.
you're named like us.
Well, that's because my mother is obsessed with Lord of the Rings.
Your mother may be less obsessed with Lord of the Rings than you think. The end of the name El means stands for love of God.
And in Kenya Elvish, it stands for Wild Daughter.
Well, I need to do more reading, I suppose. I would like to go home. Are you going to stop me?
I'm not the one with the gun.
She looks down at it and says, would it have done anything?
No.
She nods. This has been a long day. And she stands up, puts the gun back in her jacket, and walks out the front door.
Does she want to ride?
She didn't respond to you.
Okay.
Did you?
Close.
Okay. Well.
I'm gonna text the group chat and just say, so we met a demon, and leave it at that.
All right. So, back in Dogland, you guys get a ping that says, we met a demon.
What?
What the fuck?
Like a good demon or a bad demon? Ben's just typing this out in all caps.
We can talk about it when we get back.
Ben calls Mercy.
Okay, Mercy, your phone goes off.
Hello?
What was the demon like? Did he fight it?
No.
Oh.
Are you... How is the thing with the dog going?
Terribly.
Slow
Joe
and
kinda leans
confusing.
over.
I wish I was there. I might be able to at least make it manifest if it's a spirit.
It
What
is
do you
not.
mean?
It's something I can do as a Zenith.
How quickly can you get here? Joe sounds genuinely frightened. Like a
Well-
slow creeping sort of fear.
We're in Santa Monica. So...
Maybe call Adam, see if he can give you a lift.
Is James saying this through the mic on Joe?
Has James rejoined us?
I'm assuming I would have rejoined you at this point.
Alright. Like, I'll call Adam, see if he can give you guys a quick trip here. I don't know. Apparently we got how many hours left before it's supposed to kill us?
I don't
I'm
think she
sorry,
knows
it's
exactly,
supposed to what?
but essentially this is some kind of. It's not a curse. It is an outside context problem, according to Adam. But it. If someone interacts with her and comes asking about it, apparently they don't turn up dead. Everyone simply forgets them, and we found the absence of a lot of bodies at the manor. Those who had gone to investigate it.
Well, I found the bodies. They are there.
You
But
hear an
there's simply-
angry sigh and the line cuts.
All right.
Joe's gonna try calling Adam.
Okay. Once again, it says that the person you're trying to contact is outside the service region.
Aye. Well,
Because he's shoring up magical defenses against a demon dog that may kill him.
I suppose we wait.
No, he's not dead. He's fine. The dog hasn't caught on to him
and try to find a body from a 5-year-old murder,
yet. No,
5-year-old.
he's dead. Oh, okay.
killing. If this is
alleged.
truly an animal, what
Alleged.
will we find the bones buried somewhere, individually?
Well, it seemed to keep the rest of the bodies there in some sort of temporal stasis.
But this body is different. People can remember him.
Yes.
So of course the bacteria will have been able to interact as well.
Frankly, that's assuming he's dead in the first place and not, I don't know, turned into the dog. I don't know.
But we can't interact with it. How could we prove that theory in the first place? Maybe it's best to simply assume that
You know you've done a good job as a storyteller.
if Mercy gets
when-
here in time,
when your players
then
just keep going.
until then, we've been given a clue. The body might have something to do with all of this.
I'm
Her
proud.
memory isn't perfect of that night. Something killed all of
Throw
those
it a
people and
bone.
made them no longer part of the world.
What
Joaquin,
about we talk to the son? You know, the guy that hired us? He said he
Yeah.
was there.
I'll just pray for a little bit. And there's actually a little bit of bitterness, like really underneath Joe's tone, that no one's heard there regularly or at all.
Joaquin, would you mind taking the wheel?
Finally, something I can do that is useful. Thank you. He takes the wheel, gripping it with white knuckled hands.
Okay.
I'd
Where
like
to?
for James to just kind of stop
Alright, Lawana approved.
and go into his own head and start reflecting back over all the evidence he's gathered and try and find a connection or an avenue that he hasn't explored.
Okay. You don't. You're thinking back, and you know there's something you're missing, and like something big, but it's like trying to feel around a shape that you can't see. It's there, you know it is because of the evidence around it, but you can't for the life of you figure out what it is. And after some time, you get kind of keep running in circles in your head, and when you open your eyes to stop thinking, you lean your head back and you sigh, kind of at a loss for the first time since you exalted. And then about 10 seconds after that, you drive by a billboard advertising for 9 Iron Insurance.
Sorry. The company.
What? Joe looks up from the road. Kind of glances back.
9 Iron Insurance.
An
There
insurance
you go,
company.
Lavana. How's that for an anonymous cryptic
The
one that-
text?
It was
Employed
the
him.
one- It's the one that employed him, and the Alice said that they wouldn't cover her treatment, was it? No.
Legal
The
fees.
legal fees. Does that seem strange to you?
No. Insurance companies' job is to pay as little as possible while charging as much as they can justify.
No, that they took care of. Sorry, Jord.
Hello, I'm Jord.
Did she say that they were looking after the family in all the other ways? Like,
They did up until there was talk. Basically, up until she started to get investigated and there was legal issues.
okay.
That's
That-
kind of what I was going for, Eyeball. Like, I wanted to
That's
imply
strange to me.
upper middle class insurance company.
That
you know?
kind of feels like that could be.
Came up with it on the spot, so it could be golf club insurance. I don't fucking know.
That feels kind of like a bit of a. Like maybe. It's possible they're trying to let her take the rap for that. I wonder how they're connected. Should look into them as well.
Okay, so what are you guys doing in this moment? Correct, Eyeball. You are a genius. That's just true.
We could
So
go
you
back-
want to go and find something out about Nine Iron Insurance?
I mean, maybe he.
I know, Blair.
Maybe Richard had a. Maybe he had some files on his computer that might give me an insight into that company. I mean, I
It's
know.
5 years after. But wait. Joe frowns.
Dad's name was Richard.
Did
You
the
know what?
son-
And he's gonna turn and he's gonna head for that office. Sorry, did the billboard say an address?
No, absolutely not. It had a phone number, but
It had a phone number. Joe's gonna pull the vehicle over, go into his phone, and he's gonna reverse search the phone number
yeah,
to figure out
you
what the
find it
address-
easily. They pay for ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually just like 3 blocks from where you are.
And it's just one office. It's a small insurance place, not a chain.
It's one office. It's kind of like a medium office building in a small town. So like, it's not tiny, but it ain't a big insurance company.
All right, we're gonna go there.
Okay, you arrive, and out front there's a security guard sat in front of the front doors in a lawn chair reading a book.
That's weird.
This is Eightfold
How so?
Paths Joined
Why would a law office need a security?
insurance company.
Oh, insurance company. Pardon me. Why would they need an
No doubt, there's plenty of
Because
people
they're
who
an
have a
insurance
vendetta
company.
against
in a
insurance.
small town?
No doubt, many people feel that they should have gotten an insurance payout and are willing to harass. How do you suggest we get past? We're going to be trying to access a computer with proprietary knowledge. They won't like that. Even if they're clearly not open. We're entering after hours.
Yeah, it's like middle of the night, like maybe 4 o'clock at this point in the morning.
Oh,
I mean, we either come back in the morning, assuming we haven't been turned into dog chow,
Damn you, coffee
or
right?
we do this now.
well, I'm willing to try to sneak in if you know a way.
This is actually not. They don't have security. This is Eightfold Paths Joined trying to help
I
them.
mean,
He's literally
James
going to
is
be the
gonna
worst
kinda
security guard possible
reach
intentionally.
out to the power around him and think and be like, yeah, if I'm going in there, I need time to rest. I've spent quite a bit of power.
Don't worry about that.
After
Joe's
a minute,
going to place-
there's a knock on the window. Security
Oh.
guard came over.
Joe rolls down the window.
He says, Hey, are you the crew that was gonna be coming in tonight?
Joe glances at James.
Yes?
Okay, yeah. So I'm supposed to let you in. You're the IT guys, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. Right this way, sirs. Come.
OC, thank you, pattern spiders.
Yeah. He says, "Come on, right this way." Yeah. Hang on a sec, and he like fumbles around with his keys for like a good long while. He's got about 1,000 keys, and clearly only one of them works.
Joe actually pulls that like gets out of the. Oh, is he gonna go open a gate?
No, he's opening the front door.
Okay. Joe kind of gets out and Joe like makes a show of like pulling out and looking through some very clearly technological tools. You know, he's got some USB sticks. He's looking at his tools for the trade trade.
While the guard's going through his keys and trying each of them in order, he looks over and he goes, "Oh yeah, I've got that webcam too. It's a pretty good one. I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of a big deal. I'm a streamer. I get like a few viewers every stream. It's pretty good." You ever heard of Definitely a Vampire?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really? He gets really excited.
Joe is kind of like looking this up behind like on his phone,
Cool.
but he's also kind of waiting impatiently by the door.
He last streamed 6 months ago for half an hour.
He's 27th on Twitch's most paid streamers.
He's 28th. He's not even 27th. Anyway, after some time, he opens it up. He's like, "Yeah, come check me out. I'll probably be on in the next week or so."
You should. Have you ever thought about playing tabletop RPGs?
This has officially gotten too meta. He winks out of existence. I'm kidding. He doesn't. But as soon as he lets you in, he's like, "All right, cool. You guys can lock up behind you, right?"
We didn't get sent the keys.
He goes, "Oh, okay." He pulls the key off the key ring and hands it to you.
Thank you.
He goes, "Yeah, no problem. Just lock up when you leave." And he like folds his lawn chair up and starts walking down the road.
Joe like heads through the door,
8 fold paths.
lets everybody get through, and locks it behind, which doesn't even require the key to lock from the inside, does it?
No, God no.
Joe kind of like pinches the bridge of his nose.
Oh, sorry.
I can't imagine the luck, but
I forgot to mention, when he walked in, the alarm system started going off, which he disarmed for you.
Okay.
Did I happen to see what numbers he pushed?
1111.
Oh my god.
Okay. Wow.
24/7 for your night stream.
Joe, locks the door behind and says, "Let's hurry. When the real IT team arrives, I don't want them calling head office, which won't be open until the morning."
Pattern spiders who don't know,
this was
8
too
full
much
paths
luck.
joined is
I don't trust it.
sidereal exalt.
Okay.
And he's very interested in solving this particular mystery.
Joe's gonna kind of like
This thing is fucking with fate.
he's gonna like look through offices for computers, and I think I'm gonna actually try and introduce a fact here.
I'm listening.
As he each time he comes to an office that has a computer, he's going to he's actually going to glance back at Ben and James and say, "I looked through the man's social media and public writings, anything he'd written, and I got a feel for the voice that he uses to write with. If I'm correct, and he worked many years at this company, and if it's the same keyboard, then the letters N, R, F, and a J will be more worn than one would expect from any other particular writing style. He favored words that used them more frequently.
At this point, you walk by a desk that is labeled Richard Baker.
Are you serious?
Yeah, everyone's
That
name
one's
tags
it.
are like nameplates are on the desks.
From 5 years ago?
Yeah, weird, right?
Maybe he's just not dead.
His wife. He just left his wife, and she didn't take it well.
Has Joe kind of like makes sure that like all of these other desks belong to people who currently have active social media accounts or something, like they're not
Yeah.
all fucking dead people.
Yeah, no, they're all real people as far as you can tell. You do note that there are more cards like that you get from like Hallmark on Richard's desk than anyone else's.
Oh, they kept it here as a like kind of like a weird workplace shrine.
Yeah. Also, his picture is still up on the wall where he won Employee of the Month a few years before his death.
He was well liked.
All right, I'll start going through his computer and seeing what I can
Please
find.
allow me.
Please.
I would like to roll intelligence or like something in lore, if that makes sense. As Joe sits down at the computer, he actually slips on a pair of gloves. Like very thin gloves.
Why? Oh, you slip on. Oh, I get it. Okay, I thought you meant you slipped on them like you were introducing a piece of evidence. I'm like, no, get the fuck out of here.
No. He puts on a pair of gloves, like very thin, and smooth. He opens it up, and he's going to use he plugs a thumb drive into the USB port on the computer.
The computer immediately turns on because you plugged in a new peripheral, and you know.
Yep. And Joe's gonna use the contents of that to bypass the password.
Oh, there wasn't one. It went straight to his desktop.
This man.
I love how you guys are like, all right, we gotta break into this place. We gotta do this, and it's just like this fucking.
Joe like downloads the entire contents of the computer onto this drive because it's like probably like 500 gigabytes or something.
Okay, there's quite a bit of databases in an insurance computer. I'm not sure you're able to fit that all in a thumb drive.
Okay, you know what? Fair. Sorry, I wasn't thinking like a thumb drive, more of an external hard drive, but still, you're right, this would be larger. Mostly he's gonna go through the things that this computer most recently accessed and or edited.
Cool. It was 5 years ago, and it was insurance paperwork.
Is there anything interesting or unusual about whose?
No,
Jane,
not in the slightest.
Joaquin.
How about the week
You don't
before?
know any of these people, and as far as you can tell, they have social media, and they're just people.
Joaquin.
See.
We need to
yes.
look into why Miss Baker's claim for legal assistance was denied.
I imagine it's because, but Joe is finding that out as he says this, but he kind of says a little like sarcastically. I imagine it is because the coworkers who liked him so much believed she killed him.
Maybe.
You would need to be on someone else's computer because, for obvious reasons, that information isn't going to be available on the dead guy's computer.
Joe shakes his head and says,
possible
"I'll
murder.
see if I can get into
It's
one
a
of the
bad
other
take
ones
if your
they're even
insurance company
password
protects a
protected."
murderer.
I
None
guess
of
they
the computers in here, as far as you could tell, use passwords.
They just assume that nobody who isn't authorized is going to be in this room.
Yeah.
All right. Joe's going to use one of those to look up,
Cool. You go to the manager's desk. You pull up his email, which he left logged in. His background is a picture of two very attractive women holding on to him. An overweight, middle-aged white guy who you can tell has insurance money. And you look up any emails related to the event. And starting from when it started, aside from like a few before that, one of which was talking about if they could introduce an office cleanliness reward for Richard, because they literally never saw anything out of place on his desk ever. And they're like, him and some other managers were talking back and forth to like they wanted to reward that because apparently someone else was very messy. But other than that, there's like, have you heard what's happened to Richard, and like people freaking out about it, and them being like, well, we got to take care of his family. He put in so many hours at this company, we got to take care of them. And then over time, as it became obvious that the police were investigating Alice for the murder, they started to distance themselves immediately because while they don't think she could have done it because it was well known that they loved each other a lot, like you know, he would constantly send emails and stuff being like, you know, me and my wife were doing this, that they didn't think it was possible, but if they were wrong, they would pretty much sewer the business. Because if your insurance company protects a murderer, that looks bad. So they had to distance. Something that they actually debated for quite some time, like a few months.
Because they actually liked her and didn't want to believe, but then they had to make the practical decision for the business. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Blackstar. I'm glad you caught that.
Joe kind of like glances over at James. See if you can find anything in his emails. I'll keep looking into the events surrounding, well, all of this. It doesn't seem like anyone here knows anything other than someone they care about was killed, and they think that it might have been. They think that it was a regular old murder, and that the body was hidden. Do the emails indicate any information that would have been like communicated between the police and the insurance company who, you know,
Oh
like,
yeah, lots.
lots.
Yeah,
So,
they
like,
were
any
talking back and
details
forth
we
asking
didn't
if,
know.
you know, he had been acting strange or anything like that, but
Yeah.
there was nothing suspicious. Like, he was, as far as you can tell, if a human being was a color, this guy would be beige. Like, he was well liked around the office, but not for any like big dramatic thing he did. Like, he didn't win them any major contracts or anything. He showed up to work every day. He worked really hard. Got along with everyone quite well. He had a clean desk. Like, loved his family, loved his kids. You know, he had a good life until he was murdered. But like, the only interesting or exciting thing that happened to this guy was being murdered.
So, an entire police investigation, and a fairly high-profile one in this little town, at least.
Yep.
Didn't
Didn't
turn up
a
anything.
damn thing, as far as they told the insurance company anyway.
Not even the social engineering of it, which, you know, these people would have done everything they could to try and help.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, okay. Joe's frustration just kind of like mounts.
Was she
And-
convicted? Like, she was actually.
She was investigated, but the charges were dropped due to a lack of evidence.
Okay.
Joe
Exactly,
kind of like
Lafana,
shakes
exactly.
his head. There's nothing here. It's a perfectly ordinary person. No supernatural anything about him, as far as people who'd known him for years have been able to tell. They told the police what they knew, and it was nothing. There's nothing.
While Joe is freaking out about this, Ben's just gonna go through the drawers of our victim's desk.
Okay. Everything is immaculately neat.
Wow.
Fair enough,
That
Eyeball.
really is
Don't we
neat.
all? The millennial fucking dream.
Doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah, you know, there's a letter that could be interpreted as being a little bit saucy, like one of his coworkers sent him. But his written reply is in there, and it's like, basically, I'm flattered, but I'm married, and, you know, I don't want to do that to my wife, and thank you very much, but please, you know, let's maintain our professionalism, and so on and so forth. Like, he's just a guy.
Wait, how long did this lady say the dog has been with her?
5 years since the murder.
So it just appeared, murdered her husband, and then it's just been hanging around since then.
Yeah.
More and more as she talked about it.
Correct.
Maybe there's an element. Maybe someone sicked the dog on her.
Close.
What do you mean?
But
Because
no.
Ben hasn't said anything about this letter.
It's just a dumb worker love letter thing.
A what?
Kind of hands it to Joe.
Joe. Oh, oh, I need. Okay, this is awesome. Joe's gonna turn the letter over in like delicately, kind of like
He's
avoiding
so
even
excited
touching
for
the
a
ink.
non-clue.
And he's going to look at it. He's going to read it several times, and I'm going to. I want to make sure I have this, but I'm pretty sure Joe has a charm that I really, really like and haven't gotten to use yet.
This poor guy, I'm gonna break his fucking heart.
Sorry, just a second. Where is it?
Wait.
Is it not in there? Oh no.
Mercy says in the roll 20
No,
chat,
it's
none
right.
of the
It's
computers in
higher
here
essence.
use
Dang it.
passwords. I didn't know you
There's
could take
a
psychic
there's a
damage
charm
like
that I thought I had that specifically gets the like tells something about the writer based on their writing through like magical means. Ugh.
Rough.
But I'm gonna attempt to kind of like just do it with regular old non-magical. He's gonna try
Sure.
and get a
Give me
sense
a
for.
perception and linguistics check.
Thank you. He's gonna turn this over, kind of get a feel for the person who sent this and whether they would have that kind of possessiveness, like
Okay, go ahead.
would they be the kind of person to?
Give me the roll, buddy.
Rolling / roll. And you said perception?
Perception and linguistics, yeah.
Okay.
This is not a hint. You, it is a clue. In none of the pictures
I'm spending
of this
6
guy
modes of
is he
personal
with
essence.
anyone. They're just pictures of him. Damn.
8 successes.
Okay. So, as far as you can tell from the letter, the hand she wrote this in was a little shaky, and judging by the smallness of her print and just kind of the way that she phrases things, this was a kind of a big leap of courage for her. She seems to be quite a timid person, and you will highly doubt that she did anything beyond this letter.
Even the one thing that I could have thought of as a motive, this person didn't sick a supernatural creature on his wife. This man
You guys want
couldn't
me to
have
give
been
them a
it.
hint?
That's it.
Okay.
Mrs. Baker herself. She must be the secret to this.
Oh,
We're looking at the victim, but
She's not.
the victim of a killing, but maybe he was just collateral damage. The creature is still following her, killing people who come close to her.
Coming close to people looking for it.
Should I? Or
Is it a
what do you
self-protection
guys
thing?
think?
If so, why hasn't it killed her? She is telling people about it.
Because people don't believe her. And the ones that do
Give
end
him,
up
give him, give him.
in the abattoir.
Hey Ben, what are you doing right now?
Looking through the drawers and thinking.
Okay.
I still think we should talk to the sun again.
So as you're looking through drawers and whatnot, you notice that on his desk, Richard has pictures of his family, and they're all spending time together, but he's not in any of those pictures, and it's a little strange. So you look around the office, and well, there are pictures of Richard. He's either the only person in them, or anyone else in those pictures is not interacting with him.
Oh. That's weird.
Do you audibly
No,
say
follow.
that's weird?
Yeah.
There you go, Joe.
Joe follows Ben's gaze. What?
Yeah, it points to the pictures. It says, like, well, like, he may have had a good relationship with his wife, but what about his kids?
Wrong.
He was the one taking the picture, perhaps. Although, he had money, he could have had someone take the photos.
You
Joe.
did say that he always worked late, right?
Sorry, I do want to point out that I was talking about all the pictures of him in the office, not just his desk.
But in the rest of these photos, it's like it's not that he's standing apart, it's that Some of them have arms around each other, but he's always standing alone. A little bit. What?
We're gonna end it there for tonight.
No. One last thing. Did Richard Baker ever exist? And then we can leave it there for tonight.
All right, great. Well, guys, it's the end of the night. Hey!
Oh boy.
How's everyone feeling?
Mm.
So, at the end of the night, as we always do, our players get to vote for who they thought was their favorite player of the night. This could be based on just truly anything. Oh my fucking god. The pattern spiders are paying out. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 players, so tell me how you want those allocated, my friend. But anyway, it's the end of the night, so players get to pick who they thought their favorite player of the night was, and the pattern spiders, that's you, chat, get to pick their BFF of the evening. So we are gonna put up that poll. If you just give me a second, and yeah, we'll start with Sam. Who was your favorite player of the night, and why?
I'm going to go with James. Just kind of like all right, well, I'm leading the investigation, and why don't I just, be a nurse? Why don't I have the? He has a practical solution for everything.
Okay. Fair enough.
Cutting the Gordian knot repeatedly.
Okay. So Ben, witch, my good witch friend. Aside from ruining my looking for group chat, who would you like to vote for?
I'm gonna go with Mercy solely for her reaction to Ben being like, yeah, it's fine. How long do we have until we're supposed to die?
What?
I'll let you guys in on a secret. Me and Aggie had a bit of a little text interaction between the two characters after that.
Okay.
Of just Ben being like, I'm sorry, I didn't mention the multiple deaths involved.
That's really
No,
funny.
please don't worry about me dying.
I'll be fine, unless I don't, in which case you won't remember me. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right. Remember to put your votes in the Roll20 chat, please. And
Yeah.
Aki, my bestest friend, Aki.
So just to read that out, Mercy gets a message from Ben. Don't panic, we should be fine. SMS from Mercy in all caps. You didn't mention multiple people had died, Ben. Angry emoji.
All right. Who's your vote for?
My vote tonight is going to go to James, because just all the investigation that he's done in this. I really want to reward the way he's approached it as roleplay.
Okay.
So yeah.
Fair enough. Speaking of Scald, who do you vote for, Scald?
So I'm going to vote for Darius for invoking diplomatic immunity with the goddamn devil, or I'm assuming a demon.
A demon.
That was kind of a baller move. But honorable mention to Witch for not bringing up the goddamn tiger this week.
I love
actually
that
been
tiger,
distracted.
personally.
He's been a little distracted with other priorities.
Dog
He will get back
greater
to the
than
tiger thing.
All right. Fair enough. My good close friend, Sukrown.
I'm gonna vote for Mercy for the knowing glance that she gave Darius when the demon was like, "Can you swear that you're not gonna hurt me or my family?" And just knowing that I'm usually one to jump on a pact, but I don't feel like swearing pacts with shit that I don't know what they are.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Art.
Okay. In that case, James wins the player vote for tonight, which means Scald, you go ahead and get an extra
Does
free
he?
solar XP.
Does he?
It's
Oh wait, it's a
It's a
two-way
tie.
tie between
To
Mercy and James. Who do I like better?
I don't know. Are you gonna give me blue booking this week?
You know what? I'm not. And
So you probably should give it to
We're
James
still in
because
mortal
I'm
danger.
about to insult you.
yeah, but I'm kind of into that. I am gonna give it to James though, because he has less XP than you. So.
nice. Thank you.
So you gain an extra point of solar XP. You guys can have 2 and 2 for this week. And the Pattern Spider's best friend of the night, their BFF, was Joaquin, who they voted for Pattern Spider reasons, man. There's a lot of stuff in this chat. However, I do want to let you know that the Pattern Spiders have gifted everyone in the party 2 free extra XP, which means Joaquin Joaquin gets 3 bonus XP and everyone else gets 2.
And that's regular XP, not
That's
solar.
regular, delicious, charm-filled XP.
Excellent.
Okay, so Eyeball says, apparently Eyeball's name is also James, so it feels like Eyeball won. And you know what? Eyeball, you did win. You get a bonus XP as well. Wild mass guessing. I'm going to start from right to left, but I'm going to vamp for a minute so you guys can think on it a second. For those who don't know, wild mass guessing is at the end of the night, I ask my players what they know or think or have theories about what's going on. And I just chuckle because I know what's going on and they don't. And it's very funny. Anyway, I'm going to start with Sue Crown.
I think that we have the ability to make a really powerful ally in this new demon that we found, but I also have a feeling that she at some point is gonna screw us over and stab us in the back just because I'm used to that happening with your games. So anyways,
to be fair, I don't. It depends on the game I'm running. Like, if I'm running Curse of Strahd, yeah, you're gonna get stabbed in the back a lot. But I've run Scion games where that didn't happen at all. You guys were just big damn heroes.
it's a demon. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, cool. Scald, what's your WMG?
Okay, so frankly, I have no fucking clue.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So I used to keep my player notes on my laptop, and my laptop's hard drive just fragged itself.
No!
And I didn't have a backup, so my giant fucking, word web is gone. So I'm kind of lost in the weeds here, to be honest.
Okay, well, what's your thoughts? Let's talk to me about the dog. What's obviously up with the dog?
Honestly, I feel like the body being gone is very significant. I feel like, if it's not a curse on Alice, then it's got to be a curse on Richard, and there's also part of me that really does think that for some reason he got cursed, and this curse involved him, pardon me, it involved something that he's ashamed of, and he's killing people to cover up whatever that shame is, and the reason the dog hasn't killed the wife is obviously because he still loves her, but he's trying to protect her somehow from whatever it was. So, yeah. Dog is Richard. Richard kills people because shame.
Okay.
protects his wife.
Okay, fair enough. Good guess. Good guess. That is exactly correct. Yeah. Hey, Aki. Aside from gloating, what would you like to guess?
No, I'm just gonna gloat.
I
I was right. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I got no
were.
clue, but eat my entire dick and balls. Asphyxiate from lack of oxygen from choking on my entire ass. Bald-headed bitch.
Okay, I do want to ask you a question.
I'm not workshopping this. Suck my dick.
I do want to ask you a question, though.
No.
All right, fair enough. Moving on. Witch.
You can ask me the question.
Yeah. Okay. So, Witch, if you guys have encountered mages and demons, where are you?
In a very bad place.
Correct.
The world of darkness.
I've played Vampire the Masquerade. I know what shit we're getting into.
Oh, I've played Vampire the Masquerade as well. I've also played Vampire the Requiem. I've played Mage the Awakening and Ascension. I've played Demon the Fallen. I've read pretty much every core game book. I've played just every single World of Darkness game.
Oh my god, we get it.
hear
You're a
him flexing
fucking
through his
nerd.
balls.
I am a massive nerd, and you will all suffer for it.
That's why your head is bald, is because it fits so much nerd shit.
So much brain in there. I have so
No,
many brain.
It's just nerd shit. I didn't say brain, I said nerd shit.
No.
Yeah.
It just rattles around. If I shake your head, and I turn you upside down, it's like one of those magic 8-balls.
It's still just the same.
And the
brain
answer is
cell.
always answer hazy, ask again later.
Yes. It's just a
single flat
20-sided
circle.
die of answer hazy.
Ask again later. Oh my god.
All right. So anyway, my guess, obviously, the dog is Cthulhu.
Yeah, you often guess that the thing is that X is Cthulhu, yeah.
Yes, that is Cthulhu, and when the whole like child of Satan brings about the end of the world, the Solars are gonna save the day, and then Autocathon's gonna be like, oh, this does look tasty.
And then eat the world.
Yeah. It's gonna be nope, fuck you. You thought it was gonna end this way? No, it's gonna end a completely opposite way.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna screw you over. That is confirmed and correct. You are so right, it hurts me inside.
That's because you know it's true.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You are correct, and that is true. So...
You love a good screw.
that is true. Sam, my good friend Sam.
Okay, so about the dog. Richard Baker never existed. Alice Baker or somebody in the Baker family created him
Okay.
through a magic, and the
Correct.
dog is the side effect. The dog consumes the kind of like ontological, like consumes the existence of others in order to sustain the memory of Richard Baker,
Okay.
who existed for a long time as kind of like this, you know, like somebody wanted to create a father figure but didn't put a great deal of detail into the spell.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Mhm.
yeah. So somebody crafted some or all parts of this family to kind of fill a gap, and unfortunately the spell has side effects and a cost, and the cost is that more people must die until Richard Baker is forgotten and never existed.
Okay, yeah, correct. You're just right. You win. In fact, you win so hard that we'll never need to do blue booking again.
As for the demons, the war is back on.
The war is back on. Okay, good to know. I'll tell the demons.
No, they already know. What's her name? Sally already said so.
Oh, that is true, yes. Yeah, all correct. Very good, guys. I do want desperately to tell you what's going on with the dog and explain everything, but I'm not going to, so suffer. But I will talk to you about it after it's settled.
By the way,
Yeah.
is Adam dead?
Who?
Adam. Oh, fuck.
He's He might
Well,
be beyond.
you do still have his phone number, and it's still going to a phone. So
Fair enough.
The phone is outside of surface area because he's not in conventional reality. My guess. My
Hey,
wild man guess.
Jordan.
He has signal in his other reality.
yeah, what's up, Aki?
Just mod things. Did the fate weaving go through?
The fate weaving did go through, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank-
Well,
thanks.
guys, I think that's it for tonight. Thanks for playing with us. I will be back. Oh, blue booking. Right. No. I will be back
Fuck
tomorrow
you.
evening at 6 o'clock p.m. PST. We're going to be playing some more Space Engineers because you guys want to see that, which should be a fun time. I will be back tomorrow. I think that's it.
Maybe back tomorrow.
Oh, Aki's gonna murder me, but then after that, I'll be back tomorrow. Anyway, guys, it's been a blast. Thank you so much for being here. As always, I appreciate you very much. And that's gonna be it for me for tonight. You guys want to say goodbye?
Thank you,
Bye,
Spiders, for your
bitches.
generosity. You're fucking with us. You're fucking with Jorb, and it has been a good time.
It has
Embrace
been a good time.
chaos.
All right, guys, have a good one, and until next time, Bibbles.